What's up, guys? UFC 296, the last event of 2023, an amazing card to finish the year, and well, let's get to it. Our main event, we have Covington versus Leon Edwards for the middle welterweight championship. And I mean, I have Leon Edwards by TKO round 3. But let's break it down, right? So this is one of those fights where it's very, where there's a clear path to victory for one guy specifically, in this case, Kobe, versus Edwards, I think has maybe a couple more ways of winning. So basically, if Kobe wants to win this fight, he's gonna have to be able to do what he did to Masvidal in his last fight. That is the only way Kobe wins this fight, in my opinion. Kobe's not known for being a knockout artist. Kobe is not known for having one-punch knockout ability or anything like that. He's known for his pressure and his grappling. As a matter of fact, the fight with Masvidal, it's like the perfect example of what he likes to do. I mean, he basically out-grappled Masvidal for 25 minutes. He did good on the stand-up, but overall it was his grappling that gave him that victory. Kobe has no chance winning the stand-up battle against Leon Edwards at all. You know, and Leon Edwards is coming from having to prepare to fight Usman back-to-back, who... It's hard to really pinpoint who will be the better. I think by credentials, Kobe is the better grappler, the better wrestler. But he was not able to do anything to Usman. Like, Kobe was never able to take him down. I think he took him down one time the second fight, and Usman got up in like half a second. Other than that, it was a stand-up battle. Not only that, but Leon Edwards showed against Usman that he's the better striker. Especially in the second fight, he, even with the point deducted, he clearly won that fight. And again, having to prepare for Usman, who has taken people down and used his grappling to win. I believe Edwards is going to be very well prepared for whatever grappling Kobe brings into this fight, and he's going to be able to stop the takedown, keep the fight standing, and just get a TKO. I would be surprised if Kobe is able to out-grapple Edwards into a decision. Obviously, I would be mind-blown if Kobe wins by knockout. I don't see that happening. Like I said, his only way of winning this is by out-grappling Edwards. And if he's able to do that, that'd be crazy. Because I think Edwards is more than well prepared for it. But Edwards TKO round 3. And then we have the co-main event is also a title. It's for the flyweight belt between Alexander Pantoja and Brandon Royval. Alexander Pantoja is coming from beating Brandon Moreno. I believe it was split decision. It was split. I think there were only a few rounds that were clearly round 1, Pantoja, clearly round 2, Moreno, and I think round 4 or another one I gave to Moreno, and then everything was very competitive. But this is actually a rematch. Brandon Royval lost to Pantoja a little over 2 years ago by submission. Brandon Royval is coming from absolutely demolishing Matheus Nicolau and Matt Schnell. Both of them by TKO. Nicolaus by TKO round 1 and Schnell by submission round 1. I'm actually picking the upset here. I have two upsets, I think, for this event, and this is one of them. I'm picking Brandon Royval to upset and become the new flyweight champion. Very similar to the first fight. I think on the stand-up, Brandon Royval is the much superior striker, like by a decent margin, at least for what I've seen. And he's shown the ability to scramble and and use his submissions. He himself has 8 wins by submission. So it's not like he's a knockout artist who doesn't know how to do anything on the ground. Most of his wins are by submission, just like I don't know about Pantoja. I think same. Yeah, most of them by submission. Kind of the same way. I think Brandon Royval, if he did his homework and his team as well, he will do what he needs to do to keep this fight standing and get a TKO win. Obviously, if Pantoja goes there, takes him down and submits, and I'm not going to be mind blown as to how did that happen. But the stand up, I think, is where I think the gap between their striking ability, the gap is bigger than, if you want to argue if Pantoja is a little bit better of a grappler. I think Brandon Royval is a lot better of a striker. And if he has a team, they're smart. They know that how do they win this? They keep it standing. They get a TKO. So I'm picking Royval with the upset. TKO round 2. Not super confident though. I'm like 60-40 Royval. Pantoja could very well get the submission. I feel like that's the only way he wins this one by submission, Pantoja. Before that, we have Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson is coming from destroying Kevin Holland about a year ago. Round 1 was the only round that I gave to Holland. I think he clearly won that round. I don't think anyone can argue that one. Round 2 was the most competitive round, because round 1 was clearly Holland. Round 2 was competitive. And then Wonderboy took over. And eventually it was a corner stoppage at the end of round 4 by, I don't know if Holland's team. But he got destroyed. After that first and second round, Wonderboy just started to do whatever he wanted with Kevin Holland. I remember I picked Holland to win that one. But yeah, that was Wonderboy's last fight. And then Rakhmonov is coming from putting a beating on. This guy's undefeated, 17-0. Every single one of his wins, it's by finish. It is rare to be 17-0, and every single one of them, it's by finish. Half of them by submission, half of them by knockout. He's coming from putting a beating on Jeff Neal in every aspect of the game. Other than a few shots here and there that Neal landed, Rakhmonov just dominated him and submitted him at the end of round 3. I'm picking Rakhmonov to win this one. I just think that he's too smart to go out there and try to have a technical striking battle with Wonderboy. I think he's good enough in the striking where he can actually hold his own. But overall, I think I'm picking Rakhmonov by decision to win this one. I don't think he'll finish Thompson, even though I don't discard it. Yeah, that would be his one time he doesn't get the finish. This is tough. It's hard to pick a guy to win by decision that has never gone to decision. I'm going to go by submission. I'm going to go Rakhmonov by submission, maybe round 2, after he plays a little bit of striking with Wonderboy to kind of make it seem like he wants to stand up and trade. But eventually he'll get it to the ground and get the submission. Before that, we have Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett. I can't pick Ferguson. Every now and then a guy gets to the point where you just want to tell him, like, dude, shut the fuck up and just win a fight, right? How about you just win a fight instead of saying all this nonsense? That's what Tony Ferguson is at the moment. Luke Rockhold has been in that position. So has Weidman at some point, where these guys that lose and lose and lose, but they still keep talking so much shit. And it's like, I have Pimblett by submission round 2. I think he's going to be able to take. Tony Ferguson has shit takedown defense. And that's not even like, I'm not trying to, bash him or anything, but this guy has been taken down by every single fighter he fights, even Edson Barboza. Edson Barboza, the striker, took Tony down. If anyone would have told me that Bobby Green was going to out-grapple him and submit him, Bobby Green, the striker, was going to be able to out-grapple him and submit him. I would have not believed it. Knockout, of course, but submission, no way. The guy's pushing 40. He hasn't won in like his 0-6 since his last 6 fights. Like he's lost 6 in a row. Versus Pimblett, who has shown that he can take you down and submit you. Most of his wins are by submission. Yeah, I have Paddy Pimblett submission round 2. I can't pick Tony. I don't. Nobody's going to convince me that at 40 years old, we're going to see a better version of Tony. I just don't see that happening. And if Pimblett has a brain cell, he's going to go for the takedown ASAP. So it might be even submission round 1, but I'm going to give Tony he has heart. But submission round 2, Pimblett. Luque versus Ian Machado Garry. I have Garry by decision. He's coming from absolutely using Neil Magny as his human punching bag. I mean, there was a massacre. He could have finished that fight, but he chose to play around. Luke is coming from being able to out-grapple RDA into a decision. I see a lot of people picking Luke to upset using his grappling. I can't say I would be too shocked if that was to happen, but I'm still picking Garry to win by decision. I think he'll be able to keep it standing and use his, superior striking, his youth and everything to get this one done. I'm like 70-30, so I do give Luke a chance to upset, but I have Garry by decision. And then before that is my other upset of the night. I'm picking Josh Emmett to get the upset. Josh Emmett hits 100 times harder than Mitchell. I would say he is the better striker. And I can never fully trust someone taking a fight on short notice, especially on short notice during the holidays. You got to believe that these guys have a life as well. And if you're not preparing for a fight, they probably have been eating Thanksgiving and all of this. So who knows if their nutrition has been on point. But Josh Emmett, he had a fight lined up, so he had to be taking his nutrition serious. And coming from Team Alpha Male, where these guys are known for being grapplers, I think if Emmett is able, I would be shocked if, it'll be hard to believe that Mitchell will be able to, on short notice, just out-grapple Emmett back-to-back, like for 3 rounds. Even Ige was able to stop a few takedowns and get takedowns of his own. But Emmett is the better grappler, so... And going 5 rounds with Topuria, it's not really easy. So yeah, this is my other upset of the night, Josh Emmett. I'm going to pick him to win by a TKO round 2, where he's able to keep the fight standing and land the punch that he needs to do. But that's it, guys. I have Leon Edwards TKO round 3. I have Brandon Royval with the upset TKO round 2. Not super confident on that one, though. I can see Pantoja winning by submission. I have Rakhmonov by submission as well, round 2. I have Paddy Pimblett by submission, round 1 or 2. I just can't pick Tony anymore. I have Ian Machado Garry by decision. I do give Luque a chance, though. And then my other upset of the night, I have Josh Emmett by a TKO round 2. I think I can't, like I said, I can't pick a guy taking the fight on short notice. And that's it, guys. If you do follow me on Instagram, the MMA Sensei, I post the entire card one day before the fight. And that's it, guys. Hope Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever.